Hello students, welcome to Daily Chronicles by Abhiram Ias. So today we'll be dealing with 5 important articles for the day collected from the Hindu, Indian Express and PIB. So the articles for today are coal production, appreciation of rupee, and also we'll be talking about GM crops, IORA, an international organization, and we'll be also talking about Jal Jeevan Mission in the context of World Water Deal. Chalo, let's start the articles. Now, the first article is, see, India has been achieved the historic achievement of 1 billion tons of coal production. 1 billion tons of coal production. So now, in this context, for the exam point of view, it is important to know about coal and coal production. What are the places of coal production? Let's see. So basically, as we saw, India has achieved the historic milestone of 1 billion tons of coal production, which is emphasizing its significance for energy security, economic growth, and also self-reliance. Now, is coal renewable resource or non-renewable resource? Absolutely, it is non-renewable resource. Remember this, it is non-renewable resource. Once used, it takes millions of years to be reproduced again. So basically, coal is a fossil fuel which is formed from the decomposed plant matter over millions of years. That is why it is non-renewable and it takes time for reproduction. I mean reproducing or reproduction, whatever. So it is mainly composed of carbon and also like sulfur, nitrogen, etc. Now, based on this carbon content, how much amount of carbon is present, that much the quality of coal will be there. So based on this carbon composition, there are 4 types of coals. First one is anthracite coal, where 80 to 95% it contains carbon. So if it is having 80 to 95% of carbon, it is very high quality coal. So highest quality, and mainly the reserves are in Jammu and Kashmir. Here, I marked it here. It is present in Jammu and Kashmir in very small quantities. And next is bituminous coal, 60 to 80% of carbon, moderate. So used in industries and power plants, which is found in Jharkhand, you see Jharkhand, and also Odisha region, West Bengal region, and further Chhattisgarh, and also in Madhya Pradesh region. Okay, remember this coal reserve areas, it will be helpful for the examination point of view. And also lignite coal, where 40 to 55% of carbon composition, and it is in, this is in high moisture, which is found in Tamil Nadu region, and also Rajasthan, our Rajasthan region, and also in Assam. And next, peat. Peat is having less amount of carbon, that is why it is least in coal, least coal type. So low quality coal, early stage can least useful for the energy production, right? These are 4 types of coal. In exam simply they will ask what is highest coal, highest quality coal and least quality coal. Remember this. And these are the coal reserve areas in India. Now next, if we see, let's see the India's major coal reserves, where the major coal reserves are found. You can see, remember this places, coal mines of India. So basically coal is found in central and eastern regions of India. Okay, central and eastern regions of India. Now mainly I will be telling you coal reserves. Remember this for the examination point of view, it is important. They may simply ask where is this coal reserve located in India or located in which state. So in Jharkhand, Jharia is important, Bakaro and North Kanpura. Where is it? Here is Jharia and Bakaro. Okay, that is in Jharkhand, remember this. And in Odisha, Talcher, IB Valley. Here it is Talcher. Okay, IB Valley is not there. Next, Chhattisgarh, Cobra is important. Korba. Okay, Korba is important. Yes, Chhattisgarh, Korba. And next, West Bengal, Raniganj. Raniganj significance is, it is oldest coal field in India. Raniganj is the oldest coal field in India. Next, Madhya Pradesh, Singrauli and Sohagpur, Maharashtra, Wardha Valley and Tamil Nadu, Neyveli, where lignite is found. And of course, our Telangana in Singarini collieries. Right? Remember this, in exam point of view, it is important. Now next, let's see the statistics. Let's see first, in global scenario, let's see top 5 coal producing countries. Top 5 coal producing countries. So first rank goes to China, and second India, third Indonesia, USA, Australia. These are coal producing countries. Okay. First is China, second is our India, and third goes to Indonesia. Remember this in global scenario. And if we see top 5 countries with largest coal reserves. First place goes to USA, Russia, Australia, China and India. We are in 5th place in coal reserves, but we are in 2nd place in the coal producing countries. Do not confuse with this. They may ask a question like this, ascending order or descending order, whatever. Remember this is important. Now next if we see, let's see the coal production in India. These are the recent current affair things. Let's see. So major producers, who are the major producers? Coal India Limited, which had monopoly, but now it is all coal is also privatized. Before monopolized, but now it is privatized. So Coal India Limited is the largest producer with offices across India. And next one is Singareni Collieries, which is in Telangana. It operates mainly in Telangana. Okay, fine. Next, coal import and uses. So coal can be freely imported. Coal can be freely imported under open general license. Right? You have to get this license, then you can import the coal freely. The next, coking coal. Coking coal is imported by Steel Authority of India, that is SAIL, for steel industries. Now, what is difference? Okay. Now, next, non-coking coal. It is used in power plants, cement, sponge iron industries and captive power plants. Now, what is difference between this coking coal and non-coking coal? Basically, this coking coal, as the name suggests, it is used for producing coal. Yeah, it is used for producing coke. And non-coking, it is not produced for coke. It is mainly for power plants, cement plants, sponge iron industries and captive power plants. Okay, next. These are current affairs issues recently. I am covering this. So coal sector reforms. What are the reforms? So commercial coal mining was introduced in the year 2020, ending the Coal India's Limited monopoly. As just now we discussed, okay, commercial coaling means privatization of coal also been started. So remember this, 100% foreign direct investment, 100% FDI is allowed in coal under automatic route itself. Okay, remember this. And next, India aims to gasify, that is coal gasification, 100 million tons of coal by 2030 to reduce the environmental impact. So this is basically coal gasification. Right? Next, if we see, there is an app called Uttam app, which is real-time monitoring of coal quality in India. This is all about coal. So why we are discussing this? Because the coal production has been reached 1 million tons, 1 billion tons. Next article is about appreciation of rupee. Now, let's see what the article is telling about and why it is in news. So basically, rupee climbs to a 10-week high. It is not like rupee has become weak, but after 10 weeks of days, rupee has been increased. Rupee has been appreciated. So, the rupee on Friday climbed to a 10-week high of 86 rupees against the US dollar due to a surge in foreign inflows. So, basically, this is a cause for the rupee appreciation, foreign inflows into domestic equities and debt markets, analysts said by the analyst. So, now the domestic currency was trading at 85.89 rupees at a dollar on January 9, 2025. So basically, rupee is appreciated from 86 to 85.89. Oh, do not get confused. See, I am telling from 86 to 85.89, the rupee has been appreciated. Now you are thinking that, ma'am, 86 is a large number compared to 85, one digit small, right? Now let's see the concept of what is really appreciation. But before that, I am showing you the graph, what is mentioned in the paper. See, in Jan, it was like 86.6. In February, it was like 87.58. From 87.58 to, on March 21st, it has been come to 86. Okay, from 86.16 to, see, I am writing for clear, 86.6 to 87.5 to, now the rupee is at 86. Now you will get a confusion that it was 86, 87, again 86. Ma'am, it has been reduced. Now why you are telling appreciation? Okay, let me introduce the concept of what is appreciation of rupee. But before appreciation of rupee, we need to know exchange rate. What is it? Exchange rate. Exchange rate. Simply see, I am in India and I want to send my currency money to other country. So now in India, I want to buy an iPhone from US. Now my currency is Indian currency and US is having dollars. So for how much money of Indian currency I will get an iPhone? That means in dollars. How much money, how much Indian currency I have to give to US to purchase an iPhone in their currency. So that is basically the exchange rate, exchange trade, okay, exchange rate. Next, clear with this? This is exchange rate. So now, if this exchange rate depends upon, this exchange rate maintenance tells us whether the rupee is appreciating or depreciating. See, for suppose, now for this iPhone, it is like $1. So $1 of rupee. Like $1 is equals to some 87 rupees. So 87 rupees I have to send to the US market to buy an iPhone. Next day, it will decrease, like it will come to 86. Now tell me, this is appreciation or depreciation? This is appreciation or depreciation? Basically, this is appreciation. Why? See, because we are giving 86 rupees as $1, right? 86 rupees is $1, and now here I am giving 87 rupees for $1, which means the Indian currency has been appreciated. The amount of money we are paying will be decreased, right? So if the amount is decreasing, then it is called appreciation. If the amount is decreasing, if it is increasing, then it is depreciation. Depreciation of Indian rupee. Okay. Clear with the concept? When the money I am giving to other countries is decreased, then my currency is appreciated. When the currency amount I have to give to other countries is increasing, then it is depreciation. Remember with this concept, do not get confused. We have discussed exchange rate. What is exchange rate? So the exchange rate is the price of one country's currency in terms of other currency, and it determines how much of one currency you need to exchange for the other. Similarly, I told like how the example of iPhone. Now next, what is appreciation? I'm clearly see here. So basically, appreciation of a currency occur when its value increases. When its value increases, here value is increasing, okay, compared to other currencies. So this means the currency can buy more foreign currency than before, right? So now for $1 itself, for 86 rupees itself, I am buying $1, right? I have no need of spending more, okay. So basically this is example of appreciation. Remember this. Now this concept is very important for the exam. Now next, what are the causes? Now in this scenario, what are the causes of rupee appreciation? Basically foreign inflows, as we saw in the article itself. What is this foreign inflows? So increased foreign investments in India like stocks and bonds raise the rupee demand. So in international market, rupee demand is more. Now next, RBI's forex intervention. RBI does policies for rupee stability, right, for the economic stability. So RBI has conducted USD or INR swap interventions influencing the currency movement. So now rupees like it is accepted worldwide, not worldwide. Now like swapping is happening where some countries are accepting the rupee also. Now trade surplus and economic growth. Like strong export performance and economic stability is also boosting the rupee confidence. Next, US Fed policies. As Donald Trump has come, he is telling tariffs will implement tariffs and these all things. So basically, due to the Federal Reserve's decision to keep interest rates steady, reduce the dollar strength and indirectly helping the rupee. Okay. So maybe we can see rupee internationalization, and now we are seeing rupee internationalization. Some countries are accepting our currency and they're swapping in their currencies, but maybe a day comes where we can be equal to dollar also. Let's hope for the best. Okay, let's see. Now what are the impacts of what are the impacts of cut? Okay. Now let's see the impacts of rupee appreciation. What will happen? So basically cheaper imports like prices of crude oil, electronics, essential imports will decline, reducing the inflation. Then other thing is, if cheaper imports, what will happen to the exports? Expensive exports. So Indian goods will become more costlier in the foreign markets. But for us, the electronics and other goods will be available in less money, thereby reducing the inflation. Now, stock market effect. What will happen? It becomes more stronger, right? So stronger rupee attracts foreign investors, pushing the stock market higher. Next is debt management. What will happen? External debt will be reduced. So external debt prepayment will be easier as fewer rupees are needed for the dollar denominated loans. Clear with the concept? We saw what is exchange rate, we saw what is appreciation, we saw the causes, impact. As a value addition, let's see the differences between appreciation and depreciation. Now this is important for the exam, please do remember this. See, what is definition of appreciation? Currency value increases. Our currency value is increasing. Depreciation, currency value decreases. Imports becomes cheaper, and here imports becomes more expensive, and depreciation. Remember this, export and imports you will be get confused. So basically in appreciation, imports will become cheaper, whereas depreciation, imports will become more expensive, and exports will become more costly in appreciation, and there will be less demand. When it is costlier, the demand will be less, obviously. And when depreciation, the exports will become cheaper due to more demand, right? Next, if we see inflation, lower inflation in appreciation, higher inflation in depreciation. Remember this chart, it is important for the exam. Foreign investments, as it is less demand, so less attractive. Here it is more demand, more attractive, right? The next, tourism, expensive for the tourist because our value has been increased, and whereas coming to depreciation, it is more affordable for the tourist. And if we see the debt repayment, in appreciation, it is easier for the debt payment because our currency value has been increased. But coming to depreciation, when our currency value is decreasing, we have to pay more money to the external market, right? So harder for the external debt, right? Now next, coming to the next article, it is about GM crops. Let's see the article. So there is a progress on food crops. So it's the officials. Now what is this article about? So ahead of fresh series of hearings in Supreme Court next month over the genetically modified food crops, the Department of Biotechnology said there is a progress on this front. Now what is this GM crops? GM is, we all know, genetically modified. What is genetically modified? We are modifying the genes of the plants, right? At present, only, here the article is telling, at present only BT cotton is only genetically modified crops allowed to be cultivated. Okay, now here it is also telling about that GM mustard already developed, but approval also been given, but we are stopping it due to some ethical issues. And also it wasn't approved for cultivation following the safety objections by the activist group. And next, here the article is also highlighting about Bio E3 policy. So let's see about GM crops and let's also see about Bio E3 policy. Okay, let's see. Now, what is this GM crops? As already I said, this is genetically modified crops where plants whose DNA, whose genes will be modified with genetic engineering techniques to introduce the desirable traits. What are these desirable traits? Like pest resistance. Example, BT cotton is introduced for pest resistant against the pink bollworm, right? Pink bollworm. And next is herbicide tolerant. Next is drought and flood resistant, and also increased nutrition value. These are the significance of GM crops. Now next, if we see, so current status of GM crops, let's see. So as I told, BT cotton, it is approved and we are using BT cotton, approved in 2002, which is pest resistant against the bollworm. GM mustard DHM 11, that is DARA, approved by GEAC but under the Supreme Court review. Now what is this GAC? Let's see in the next section. So herbicide tolerant, which is hybrid for higher yield. So basically GM mustard we are introducing for the high yield. And BT brinjal, this has been also approved but later put on hold. What is its importance? Pest resistant against the fruit and shoot borer. Next is GM crop, GM maize, GM wheat. We are introducing many genetically modified crops for high resistance, more yield, but we are not getting the approval due to the ethical issues and other issues also. Okay, let's see what is the GEAC. So basically GEAC is Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee. Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee. Now, this GEAC is under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. That is in short MOEFCC. Remember this. Remember this. It is not under Science and Tech, not under Ministry of Science and Technology. It is under Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and it is the key regulatory body for approving the GM crop traits and commercialization of GM crops. Okay. Now, see, it evaluates the environment, health and biosafety concerns before granting the approval. Now, next, what are the other regulatory bodies? Department of Biotechnology, Food Safety Standards Authority of India, that is your FSSAI, and also Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Okay. Now, see, India does not have a comprehensive national policy of genetically modified crops, but recently Supreme Court has said that introduce one so that other trials we can proceed. Now next let's see the arguments in favor and the arguments against. Amma, this is important for mains examination. Simply they can give critically evaluate about genetically modified crops. So at that time you can use this. So what are the arguments in favor? Basically for higher yield, when we introduce the genetically modified crops, there may be chances of higher yields, but at the same time what the argument against is environmental concerns, because there may be risk of biodiversity loss and there may be also impact on soil health, like how we may miss our traditional seeds. As of now we are doing the same, we are missing our traditional seeds. And reduce pesticide use, as an example is BT cotton, so it is useful in reducing the pesticide and agricultural loss. Now the argument against is health risk. So lack of long-term studies on human health effects, like there is particularly no study of effects, so it may lead to health risk. And also climate resilience. In drought and in flood resistant areas, this GM crops or GM modified plants will help. Now the argument against is corporate control. So it is telling that patents, or if we give patents on GM seeds, there will be loss to other farmers who are using the traditional seeds. And also see, as I told, some people will get economic benefit and some people may lose. So the argument in favor is economical benefit, it boosts the export potential and farm incomes. But here ethical concerns will come into the picture, right? So this is important for your mains exam. Remember this, the arguments in favor are high yield, reduced pesticide, climate resilience and economic benefits. But coming to against, the arguments against are environmental concerns, which will create impact on soil health, health risk, corporate control and also ethical concerns. Now next let's see about Bio E3 policy. Here E3 stands for economic, environmental and ecological sustainability, and this policy is an initiative to promote the use of biotechnology in various sectors like the agriculture, healthcare and also some industrial applications. Now it is launched under Department of Biotechnology. As it is simply, you can remember bio, that means biotechnology, under Ministry of Science and Technology. This is under Ministry of Science and Technology. Remember this. So basically it focuses on everything bio, like biomanufacturing, bioagriculture, biopharmaceuticals, healthcare, pharmaceuticals and also environmental sustainability. This is Bio E3. Now let's see how this Bio E3 policy will help to our genetically modified crops. So basically it encourages its research. I mean it encourages cut here. So let's see how this Bio E3 policy helps in genetically modified crops. So basically it encourages the research in GM technology to improve the crop yields and food security. For improving crop yields and food security. Next, it also supports public sector participation of GM crop development and therefore by reducing the reliance on multinational seed corporations. right? And also it focuses on biosafety regulations to ensure GM crops are environmentally safe. And also it integrates the GM crops into sustainable farming practices with minimum ecological harm. And also the example is for DBT funded GM mustard, that is Dara. GM mustard was developed using the public funds under India's biotechnology research initiatives. So this is the role of Bio E3 policy in the genetically modified crops, right? Remember this. And the next article is about IORA. What is IORA? That is the Indian Ocean Rim Association. Let's talk about it. So basically what the article is telling that now presently India is vice chair. Presently India is vice chair of IORA. But this November 2025, India will take the chair for IORA. So in this context, the author is talking about charting a route for IORA under India's chairship. Let's see the article. So basically, let's know about IORA. What is IORA? Indian Ocean Rim Association. It is a regional intergovernmental organization promoting the economic cooperation, maritime security and sustainable development among 23 member countries. 23 member countries bordering the Indian Ocean. As in the name you can see, Indian Ocean. So bordering countries of Indian Ocean, there are 23 countries of member states. It is established in the year 1997. Where is its headquarters? It is in Mauritius. Okay. Who are the member countries? Bordering countries, mostly 23 members are there. So basically India, Australia, UAE, South Africa, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, etc. And recently France. France has been also included. Remember. And the developed partners are USA, China, European Union, Russia, Japan, etc. But remember this, the member countries are important. Okay. So you can see the map here around Indian Ocean. 23 member countries, that are Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Australia also. Australia is also one of the part of Indian Ocean Rim Association. Iran, UAE, Oman, Yemen, Somalia, Seychelles, Comoros, Madagascar, Mauritius, South Africa also, Mozambique, Tanzania, Kenya. 23 member countries are there. Remember this. Please remember, if they may ask what are the member countries of IORA. Okay. No China, they are member country. No Japan, sorry, they are dialogue partners. Okay. No USA also, amma. Okay, remember this. Next, let's see present India's role in IORA. So basically, as I told, India is currently the vice chair and will take over as chair in November 2025 for 2-year term. Okay. Now, see what it is doing. It aims to strengthen the IORA's governance, funding, and also technology, and also adoption and academic collaborations. Let's see what are the issues, present issues in IORA. Basically, the funding is issue. Okay, so IORA's budget is small and member dependent. So only few countries like Singapore, UAE and France are helping to contribute. But other countries are not giving the contribution. So IORA is it is not working properly. And limited institutional capacity, we need more infrastructure to develop an international organization, intergovernmental organization. So as it is located in Mauritius, it has insufficient staff and resources. So basically less infrastructure. So needs better technology integration for data management and policy making also. Lack of private sector engagement. So it is intergovernmental organization. So there is lack of privatization and private sector engagement. So they are not sufficiently involved in IORA's activities. This is all about the issues. Now what does India should do? That is main thing about the article. So the India strategy as IORA chair. Basically, it has to strengthen IORA's financial resources. Funding is the main thing, no? So it has to improve the financial resources. So it has to explore the private sector participation, public-private sector participation, for shipping, energy, tourism industries, and it also should encourage the institutional funding through development banks and also international organizations. It has to get fund, it has to be improved. Next is leveraging the technologies for better governance. For more better thing, we have to need technology, right? So implement the digital record keeping for data analysis and policy making, and also with the use of artificial intelligence and biodata for maritime security and also disaster management related things. So basically what are the things? First, it has to improve the financial resources, and next is technology to improve the infrastructure. And next is balancing the maritime and academic cooperation. Next is enhancing security and sustainability. See, it has to be integrated with India's Sagar. What is Sagar project of India? It is basically security and growth for all in the region. Where it is in vision with IRS objective. Okay. The next, it has to leverage India's naval capabilities for maritime security and disaster response also. And it has to promote more sustainability for fishing. Okay, fishing and marine governance using the traditional knowledge from coastal nations. Now, if we see for example, Sri Lanka, Seychelles and Mauritius can provide the traditional knowledge for sustainable marine. As I told here, I have mentioned some example also. So basically Sri Lanka, Seychelles, Mauritius, which are the coastal countries, have to train for traditional knowledge, have to give the traditional knowledge. Now next, moving. Okay, that is all about IORA. It is important for mains perspective. Please do note this things. Now the last topic is Jal Jeevan Mission. I have selected this article because today is World Water Day. World Water Day. Summer is approaching. It is important to conserve water. It is always important to conserve water, but now you can see we are lacking water here because the population has been increased. So use water effectively and efficiently. Don't depend on more tankers. So it is now the article is about Jal Jeevan Mission. So the article is telling that actions taken against officials in 12 states for irregularities in Jal Jeevan Mission set by the minister, that is Union Minister C.R. Patil in Lok Sabha yesterday. Now what is this Jal Jeevan Mission about? Har Ghar Pani, for every house tap connection. Right? So basically it is a national rural drinking water program. So basically the national rural drinking water program was restructured as Jal Jeevan Mission in the year 2019. Who is the nodal ministry? It is Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation. Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation under the Ministry of Jal Shakti. This is important here, remember, Ministry of Jal Shakti. And type of scheme, it is centrally sponsored scheme. Sponsored, that means both the center and state has to take the, it has to share the funding. It has to take the improvisations. So the funding pattern is like in Himalayan and northeastern state, it is 90:10 ratio, where 90 is from center and 10 is from the state. Whereas coming to union territory, it is 100, whereas coming to states, it is 50:50. 50 from center, 50 from the states. Okay. Now next, if we see key achievements. What are the key achievements? So over the decades, over the years, from 2019, there is only 3.23 crores, but till now there are over 12 crore families have gained the drinking water access, and states with 100% coverage are, you can see, Arunachal Pradesh, Goa, Telangana also, Punjab, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Haryana, Mizoram. Almost like 9 states, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, 8 states. Remember, Arunachal Pradesh, Goa, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Gujarat, Punjab, Telangana and Mizoram. And lastly, union territories with 100% coverage are Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Dadra Nagar Haveli and Daman Diu, and also Puducherry. Remember this. They can ask you in the exam, states with 100% of coverage of Jal Jeevan Mission. Okay, so please do conserve water. It is very crucial for us now. So today I'll be concluding with these 5 topics, and we'll meet you tomorrow. Thank you.